Hi, good morning. This is Testimony Sunday number 9. I don't know why I keep saying number 8, but it's Testimony Sunday number 9. Testimony number 9. Yeah, we're moving up. So this one is about the blessing in disguise from being fired. What you see is my iPad. I'm not recording you guys. I'm recording me. And I also have to take notes. Read notes, sorry. And I'm reading off the iPad. But anyway, testimony number 8 for this Sunday is about being fired. When I was fired. It was actually a blessing in disguise. That's what God was telling and showing me all at the same time. And I didn't get it at first. When it first happened, he was like literally screaming at me to do the video about me being fired by them. So this is how this whole thing got started, of me being fired. Had I not been fired, this thing probably wouldn't even got started because I wouldn't have the time. I worked on Sundays. With that being said, yeah, I just had a strange sound, like somebody was at the door, so excuse my pause. Yeah, but anyway, that is what helped me come out my shell. Being fired helped me come out my shell because I went from behind the scenes, because all the other stuff that I've had or was doing, I was always holding the camera. Behind the camera, was never in front of the camera, never wanted to be in front of the camera. I'm the storyteller, like the storyteller, what do I have to be in front of the camera for? But God had his plans, which is so much bigger than mine. And he said, no, I need you right here, not over there, right here. So here I am. And so after being fired, I began giving testimony. About being fired, and then ended up as COVID-19 was happening and the world shut down, and I became a hero, even though they're trying to fire all the heroes and get rid of us. And we're no longer looked at as heroes. We're looked at as lazy, even though we kept it going when no one wanted to do anything and they were scared to come out. We were not scared. We was out there frontline doing the jobs that no one wanted to do. But now they're calling us lazy. And also during that time, my child did the best that she has ever did in school. So yeah, that also happened. And then I managed to get my first book published and is working on the others. There are multiple books for multiple projects. It's not just all for one. I was working on a few things at the same time while being home. So yeah, so that's the other thing. And first book was published. The second one will be out very shortly after that. It's already written, literally. So when they got together collectively as a team to fire me, that is, administration, supervisors, even an old resident who was clearly bent out of shape, mad at the world. She was back. She was there before 10 years prior, then she came back. So she was clearly bent out of shape and mad at the world, physically and literally. So when that door slammed, many others opened, literally. And I started Testimony Sundays. Everything was blocking my path and way to get this to happen, but I would not stop. I continued, And I'm going to continue. I started with my stories. I'm trying really hard not to tell the stories before the actual books come out. So I'm being very careful with that, but I will get into the testimonies as the books are released and like break down certain incidents that happened that I didn't really get into depth with, and or how I felt about this incident, that incident. It's a lot. So stay tuned. And then so this one, testimony number 8, was really about being fired. Was my blessing in disguise, because all of these great things are now happening. The first book signing will be happening really soon. The ebooks will be online for sale in about a week. I actually had a dream that people was already buying those. It's doing really good. Like the first set is already gone, and I haven't even received them yet. I mean, this is just the requests from people asking for it, and I told them, I gave them my word, because word is everything, especially where I come from. I gave them my word that as soon as I get them, they will get them. So it's moving really, really good. The first set is already gone. So for me to conduct the book signing, I'm going to have to order more books. And I can't even do that yet because I haven't got the first set yet. So it's crazy. And it's really popping off beautifully. I thank God. None of these things could have been possible without him and the steps that were taken to get me here. Like, I wouldn't have did it on my own, that's for sure. So me being fired was necessary because I didn't see me writing any books while I was working. I was so busy. I just didn't see it. It takes a lot of time, patience, and got to be alone, like to be able to read and reread and concentrate and put the stories together to make them make sense. You can't do that in a crowded room. So yeah, being alone was necessary a lot. So even the messiness with my husband, that was also part of the plan, because if he was here again, couldn't concentrate really, because we doing us and I wasn't doing me. So even that is part of God's plan. Everybody. But I won't keep getting into different. Those are different videos, different topics, and I'm gonna stay on topic. This one is about being fired, being a blessing in disguise. And because of it, I came out of my shell, and I'm now in front of the camera telling you guys my story when I was never comfortable. I was always comfortable as a writer and behind the camera, but God said no, that's not how we doing this. No, come here. So I'm here and getting more comfortable as the day and times go along, as the videos are made, I'm getting more comfortable to be able to tell my story. I never know what I'm going to talk about until the day comes, and I wait for God to give me a feeling of what I should talk about, either whether it's the day before, a few days before, the day of. I don't pick. I wait for the feeling. I wait for God to tell me exactly what he wants me to discuss. And today, which I didn't really quite understand, but a lot of them I don't, as the times play out, I see why he chose a certain topic for me to talk about. But this was definitely it for today. He wanted me to find the blessings in what I thought was like a punishment, which is being fired. The situation with my husband, but all these things made everything happen. Like, it all came together, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful, and I'm appreciative. And it's so many things that I want to talk about, but I'm holding back because I need them to play out with the books and not before the books. I don't want to tell the story before the story is actually out and told properly. I don't want to give tiny pieces of story. So bear with me. It's so much that we have to talk about and discuss. God has done a lot. A lot. Please believe me. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned.